Hi, it's Jim Holman. I'm editor of the San Diego Reader newspaper, and I have with me today Joe Klein, photographer of the Reader for 27 years. And we're going over some of his best work, his most interesting work, and trying to get stories from him behind the scenes. So we're looking at a file called Miscellaneous, and you can explain the background of some of these pictures here.
That was a story about the motocross track at Verona. Some of the residents nearby was complaining about the noise, and so anyway, I got some of the action with the motorcycles. That was a cold case detective for San Diego Police Department. I forgot his name, but it may be Robert Donaldson or Davidson, but he was in the records storage area.
I like how you framed him in the chain link fence there. Mm-hmm. In fact, I'm going to point out something here that a graphic artist at the Reader newspaper, Chris Wu, has pointed out that Joe, he admires Joe's work, I think, almost over every other photographer, because he explained it to me. He said it has to do with the way Joe gets people looking up from the camera or away from the camera. I don't know, you do something that he thinks is extremely artful. And I don't know if this is an example of that, but it reminds me of that point he made.
That was Deborah Norville. I believe she was an anchor for one of the network TV stations, as well as doing some tabloid shows.
Well, this is a good example of what this fellow Chris was talking about, that she's not posing, she's not looking. I mean, she may be posing, but
she's posing for somebody else, and I just happen to be off.
Yeah, well, that's perfect. See, she's not looking straight into the camera, which makes it more interesting, I think.
That was a property called Miller's Garage out in near Ocotillo Wells area, and there was a man that had purchased the property, and I don't know what ended up happening to the property, but it's a old garage and shop that was abandoned for years.
Can you see it from the I-8? It seems to me there's yeah. See, I remember seeing this from at least this.
I think that road is part of I-80 before they paved in.
Yeah, that looks like the old I-80. Huh. Oh, this is an interesting story. What a beautiful photograph.
That's the fishing tanks or fish tanks of a tuna factory or a tuna breeding facility. I don't know if that's correct. It's a holding pen for tuna that they would then sell to the fishing market.
And where was that tuna headed?
What was that?
Where was that tuna headed? Wasn't it going to Japan?
I'd imagine that's one of the big markets for sashimi grade tuna, but that was shot in Ensenada. That was a story on erosion in La Jolla.
Nice picture.
That was a story about Michael Gallardi, who was allegedly influenced peddling to the city council members for relaxing the no-touch rule.
So this was kind of a big scandal in San Diego, because it was a nightclub called Cheetahs, and it seems to me there was a no-touch rule that the ABC was enforcing, and he tried to bribe these city council members, and I think successfully, except that they were prosecuted.
Right.
And he went to prison, didn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah.
That was a story. May not even been a story, but I believe I was shooting aerials from a Cessna near Montgomery Field, and those are the hangars at Montgomery Field in Curdy Mesa.
Yeah, it's just further away. You can see. Is that Tierra Santa that surrounds Montgomery Field? I don't know.
Probably Serra Mesa.
Serra Mesa. Okay. You can see how embedded that airport is in the middle of suburbia there.
That was the dam at Lake Murray and La Mesa. Part of it's in La Mesa and part of it's in San Diego. Lake Murray.
Yeah, nice picture.
The camera was on a tripod. It was about a 15 to 30 second exposure. And I loosened the head of the tripod and wiggled the camera to get the streaks of the light. And it was a low sodium light, which is designed to limit the input of certain types of lights that would affect the Palomar Observatory.
So is this near Mount Palomar, or is it
No,
just?
it was in Allen Gardens.
Oh, okay,
where
but they
it
were
was
trying to
raised.
keep the sky, the light that hit the sky, and
Right.
ruined the observations of Mount Palomar at a minimum. Yeah.
That was a landslide that was a development that was made on landfill, and it was in La Jolla, and several high-end homes were destroyed.
Do you remember the street? I remember the story, but I can't remember exactly where in La Jolla that was.
I don't remember the street either.
Okay, I think we've got one more picture of that. Close up. What a disaster.